understanding university students' reflections on AI within the classroom. That's something that I've been trying to find for a while now. And although we do have a multiple of different surveys talking about the need, as well as students wanting more AI literacy skills, I haven't been able to find a lot of information dealing with qualitative information on students' thoughts regarding AI within the classroom. So what's great is that the last assignment that I gave within my classroom, I teach professional communications at the university level. The last assignment was a reflective essay. Now, within this reflective essay, they needed to talk about their last big project, which was a group project, problem-based learning type of thing, where they gave a presentation. So not only did they have to write an essay, but they also gave a presentation about it. But the reflective essay was about that, as well as they needed to talk about what they learned within the classroom and reflect on those skills and what they still needed to learn. The interesting part here is that a majority of the students talked about AI. They talked about AI literacy. They talked about AI in many different ways. So within my course, I do quite a bit dealing with AI. Now, that isn't the focus of the course. The focus of the course is professional communication. But at the very beginning, I give them a 20, 30-minute presentation dealing with AI literacy. I think it's important. I think all instructors should do that. So I give them that at the very beginning. This is like the first or second class. They have a class on AI literacy. And then throughout the course, I do a couple of different things. One is there's a couple of times when there are some AI simulations. The very first AI simulation they go through is it's a simulation where the AI pretends to be a high schooler wanting to know more information about what it's like to be in the university. So since my students are university students, then they can easily answer these questions, but they go through this process. They go through an experience with the AI where they are answering questions. Now, later on, one of the assignments is that the students have to go out and talk to somebody within the field that they're interested in, right? That they're going to be working in when they graduate. They have to go out and actually talk to them and interview them. So I give them an opportunity to use an AI simulation again so that they can practice. They can go through and ask questions. The AI pretends to be this individual from their specific field, so it's very personalized to them. And then they get an opportunity to ask questions and then get feedback as well. Additionally, I have my students use AI. They're allowed to use AI for different presentations. They can ask for feedback through the AI. They can use the AI to assist with brainstorming, different things like that. Additionally, for their final presentation, one of the stipulations is that I had students use an AI image. So they had to learn about how to create an AI image and then use at least one image within their final presentation. So having said all that, as far as all the different opportunities and situations where AI could be used within the classroom, I also use a fair amount of AI images in my presentations. They chose to talk about that. Now, again, they didn't have to talk about AI at all, but it was very revealing that a majority of the students chose to talk about it. They wanted to reflect on that. Now, all the students that talked about it, it was positive. They had positive feelings about it. They appreciated that they learned something about AI, that they've developed their AI literacy skills by having it be incorporated within the classroom. I want to read a couple of different quotes and discuss a little bit about that so that we can get a little bit deeper understanding of what students are thinking about dealing with AI. Again, this is qualitative information, and we have to think about how this might be extrapolated as far as what other students are thinking. But it's just very interesting that within my class, a majority wanted to talk about it and listen to some of these quotes here. So here's the first one. I never knew about ethical aspects about AI until I received a presentation by Dr. Anders. That's really important, right? That they specifically said that they didn't even know about ethical considerations or ethical aspects about using AI until I gave them that presentation. So many times I hear from lots of different faculty that, oh, well, students are using AI and they know about it more than we do. Well, that might very well be true, but many, many different students aren't thinking about AI as far as the full picture. They aren't thinking about ethical aspects. They aren't thinking about appropriateness. So when we get upset with students for using AI inappropriately, I always ask the question, well, did we teach them the appropriate way to use it? So that's a big thing for us to consider. So I strongly recommend that we incorporate AI within all classes and we discuss it and talk about it. What is the proper use? How can we use it effectively within the classroom? What are ways we don't want to use it? Again, the instructor is the one in charge of that. There's this whole infographic I made about the continuum of AI integration into learning. It's never an all or nothing, right? Certain times for certain topics, we might want to use AI a lot because it might add to the whole learning process. At other times, maybe we don't want to use AI at all. You as the instructor make those decisions. So that's an important insight there from that quote. Here's another quote. Gaining more knowledge about AI ethics, tools, and participating with AI interviews was a valuable experience that I am confident I will use in the future. A big thing there that I'm really proud of, right, is this idea of the student learning something in the classroom and then being able to transfer that knowledge to outside of the classroom. I love the fact that in that quote, they talk about using it into the future. And that's exactly it. That's what we're trying to do, is to help the student learn something here in the classroom and then be able to apply it somewhere else in a different setting, a different environment. So I'm very glad that that student was able to think that through in their reflection and then talk about, hey, I'm going to use this skill. They're already thinking about it. It's already in their minds about, this is important, this is something that I need, and I'm going to be able to apply my AI literacy skills outside of the classroom. That's exactly what we want. This next quote is really powerful in that I think it really hits with everything that I was trying to do within this class as far as developing their AI literacy capabilities. To overcome high levels of anxiety, I took advantage of the AI tools for practicing shared by Dr. Anders for our interview preparation. It gave me great feedback and helped me identify possible questions that might be asked during the interview. I plan to use this in the future as well. Again, another great part as far as future applications, but the big part that I think is really powerful there is that they recognize that, hey, I can use AI to help me with a problem, right? I can use AI to help me to prepare for something in the real world. That's the key thing. It's not just about throwing everything over to AI, forget about the real world. No, it's about, I'm using the AI to gain an experience, to practice, to get better, so that then when I come to the real world, now I can excel. Now I can do really good things. So this student did have a lot of issues with stress, anxiety. And I told him, I said, we have to work on that. We have to overcome this so that we can succeed, because this class is supposed to help you prepare for the real world. And we were able to use AI as a tool. I gave her a great prompt here to use the AI as a simulator so that she could practice this whole process. The big thing she was worried about is that in my class, we do a lot of role playing, right? So there's a situation where the student comes in all by themselves. It's just the student and I. The student comes into the classroom, and then I pretend to be the hiring manager for the company that they want to work at. So then I go in and I give them a real good interview. I try to make it as realistic as possible, a job interview. Well, they were very worried about that. And I said, that's understandable, but we're going to prepare you. So I gave them all the preparation. But then on top of that, I also gave them this AI simulation so that they could go through and practice. Now they practice just with text entry. So it would give them a question as if they were in an interview, and then they would type in the response. Now for this next semester, it's all going to be audio, right? They're going to be using AI, but they're going to be talking to it. The AI is going to be talking to them.
Well, in a few minutes, I'm going to be interviewing at OpenAI. Have you heard of them?
OpenAI? Huh? Sounds vaguely familiar. Kidding, of course. That's incredible, Rocky. What kind of interview?
Well, it's for a software engineering role, but I just need to know, do I look presentable, professional?
Well, Rocky, you definitely have the I've been coding all night look down, which could actually work in your favor. Maybe just run a hand through your hair or lean into the mad genius vibe. Your enthusiasm is what's really going to shine through.
This is an enhanced capability now with the newest AIs, either from Google or from OpenAI. They have this enhanced conversational capability. So I definitely plan to use that to increase the experience, increase the reality of it, right? The realisticness of it, to better prepare them for an actual interview. So this is what we need to do when we talk about integrating AI into the classroom, many different ways to do it. But the key thing that we have to focus on is, okay, if I integrate AI, what would be the best way? How is this going to enhance their learning experience? And the reflections that we got here from the students really shows us that there is a way to do this. Simulations is a great way. Exposing them to different tools that they need to learn about is another great way. Giving them opportunities to use it to help them in the production of a product, really important. But again, you as the instructor decide. You and the instructor need to think it through. How can I use this here? Experiment with it. Try it here, try it not. One of the big things that I always recommend to instructors is to, when you're giving this assignment, you give them the instructions and you give them a rubric, take time, sit down with the students and say, okay, let's talk about AI. Should we use AI for this assignment? Ask them directly. Okay, maybe we agree that we should, but how? How exactly can we use AI? What is appropriate here? Let's think about ethical consideration. What are we trying to learn from this assignment? We should have this great conversation with the students so that they know, here are the student learning objectives. This is the purpose of this assignment because we're trying to address this outcome, the student learning outcome right here. So how can we use AI to help us? But we still need to go through the learning process. So we don't want the AI to do this part because we're definitely trying to learn this. Okay, so maybe it isn't appropriate for this, but maybe we can use AI over here. Again, we're thinking about the best application of AI, and we want to ensure that we are helping to develop their AI literacy. Just having a conversation, just going through that, that's a great part of it. But then we also want them to get some hands-on learning to use the tools, right? To go through, gain that experience. So there's many different ways to do that. I definitely want you to consider that about implementation. This is one great way here was with the simulations. We've talked about that in the past in my other videos, but simulations are great. Image creation is another one. Having them use it to help with brainstorming, to help with feedback, all possibilities. So I hope you got a lot out of these reflections from the students. I think this gives us some good qualitative information to get a deeper understanding of what students think. They definitely appreciated it. Lots of positive comments about getting this information that they weren't getting from other courses, that they needed it, that they want it, and that they plan to use it effectively in the future to help them succeed. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with education in general. Please share this information with other instructors so that they can get the benefit of these reflections, so that they can see how important it is, so that they can incorporate it within their classroom, so that we can develop this best education experience possible for everyone involved. I appreciate all of your time. And remember, learning is for life. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share so that we can continue to develop our educational community here, our community of practice, community of learning, so that we can all benefit from one another.